Beauty and the Beast. Once upon a time, far beyond the noise of the bustling cities, there lived a wealthy merchant in a small, quiet cottage surrounded by whispering trees and blooming meadows. He lived there with his 3 daughters. The youngest of them was so kind, so gentle, and so breathtakingly beautiful that everyone who met her simply called her Beauty. But Beauty wasn't just lovely on the outside. Her heart was filled with warmth, compassion, and love. While her older sisters complained about chores and dreamed only of riches and gowns, Beauty found joy in helping others, reading books, and caring for their home with a smile. Though they were sisters, the older girls often grumbled about her. Jealous of her goodness, they treated her unfairly and blamed her for even the smallest things. One chilly morning, the merchant prepared for a trip to the distant city. As he saddled his horse and gathered his things, he called his daughters and asked gently, "What would you like me to bring back for you, my dears?" The eldest daughter twirled her curls and said with a smirk, "I'd like a gown made of the finest silk." The second added eagerly, "And I want a necklace of sparkling jewels." But Beauty, with her soft voice and kind eyes, said only, "Please bring me a single rose, Father, the kind that blooms with love." The merchant smiled at her simple wish, kissed their foreheads, and set off. Days passed. In the city, he traded well and bought the gifts his daughters had requested. But as he rode home through a dark forest, storm clouds gathered above. Lost and cold, he stumbled upon a hidden garden glowing with strange magic. The trees sparkled with dew, and roses, red as rubies, bloomed in the moonlight. Remembering Beauty's wish, he leaned over and gently picked the most beautiful rose he had ever seen. Suddenly, thunder cracked. Out of the shadows stepped a towering beast with blazing eyes and a voice that shook the earth. "How dare you steal from my garden?" the beast roared. "For this, you shall pay with your life." Terrified, the merchant fell to his knees. "Please, noble creature," he begged. "I meant no harm. I have 3 daughters, and the rose was for my youngest, who asked for nothing more." The beast paused. Then he growled, "I will spare your life under one condition. One of your daughters must come here willingly and take your place. She must live with me forever." Shaken but alive, the merchant rode home, heart heavy with fear. He told his daughters the whole tale, his voice trembling. The older daughters cried in anger. "This is your fault, Beauty," they snapped. "If you hadn't wanted that silly flower, none of this would have happened." But Beauty said nothing. Her eyes filled with tears, but her voice was steady. "I will go," she whispered. "I will go to the beast and save my father." So, after 3 long months, Beauty and her father returned to the enchanted garden. The beast waited for them, towering and silent. He turned to Beauty and asked in a deep voice, "Did you come of your own will?" "Yes," Beauty replied bravely. "I came willingly." The beast nodded. "Then your father may go. You must stay." With a heavy heart, Beauty hugged her father tightly, watching him disappear into the misty woods. At first, the beast frightened her. He was enormous, with wild fur and claws like knives. But as days passed, Beauty discovered something unexpected. He was gentle. He treated her with kindness and listened to her stories. He gave her a room filled with books and flowers, and every evening they shared dinner and conversation. Still, every night, the beast asked her the same question. "Beauty, will you marry me?" And every night, with a kind smile, she answered, "I'm sorry. You are dear to me, but I cannot." Weeks turned into months. Despite his monstrous appearance, Beauty began to care deeply for the beast. He was not like anyone she had ever known. He was patient, loyal, and brave. He had a soul that longed for love, and she could feel it. One night, Beauty dreamed of her father lying ill in bed, calling her name with a weak voice. She awoke with a gasp and rushed to the beast. "Please," she pleaded, "let me visit my father. He needs me." The beast nodded slowly. "You may go, but promise to return in 1 week. If you do not, I shall surely die of a broken heart." Beauty promised. Back at her old home, her father was indeed sick, but with Beauty by his side, his strength slowly returned. She laughed with him and held his hand, and for a moment forgot the time. But a week passed, then another day. That night, Beauty had a terrible dream, the beast lying still by the lake, cold and lifeless. She leapt from bed. "I must go back," she cried. At sunrise, she galloped through the forest and rushed into the garden. Everything was silent. The roses had lost their glow. The trees no longer whispered. She ran to the lake, and there, lying beside the water, was the beast. His eyes were closed. His chest did not rise. "No," she cried. "Please don't leave me. I love you. I love you with all my heart." Suddenly, the wind swirled with magic. Light shimmered around the beast. His monstrous form began to melt away, and in his place stood a handsome prince with eyes full of tears. "You broke the curse," he whispered. "A wicked spell turned me into a beast long ago. Only true love, given freely, could set me free. And you loved me despite everything." Beauty and the prince embraced. Together, they returned to her father, and soon after, they were married in the shining halls of the royal palace. The kingdom rejoiced, and Beauty and the Beast, now her beloved prince, ruled with wisdom, kindness, and grace, and they lived happily ever after. Moral of the story: true beauty lies not in how someone looks, but in the kindness they show and the love they give.